consciousness certified facilitator. And so what that means is I ask people questions to help them get an awareness about what it is that they know that they can create or choose or change in their life to have more. So why is it called Audacious Ask? Well, one of the things that I noticed was that people were just asking for little things like, oh, it would be great if I could pay my bills this month, rather than what would it take if I always had way more than enough money. In fact, like a juicy fat savings account and a juicy fat checking account and loads of prosperity in my life. Because whatever you've created up until now, you are capable of creating. So and it's not just like parking spots right in front of a store. Although that might be something that helps you understand what it is that you can create. And so we go live every week that I'm available and I'm not traveling for my work. And we have, fast and furious facilitations with people asking for more in their lives. And so the first person that I saw log in was Jackie. Jackie, what's your audacious ask? Jackie McLean, it's you.
I want a fat, juicy savings account.
Yay! Well, you created that before. So how many other infinite ways can money come into your life? I know that you are good at creating money. I've seen it.
I've seen it too. And I am like that guy on the call with Gary half an hour ago.
Oh.
Still trying to figure out and make a choice. And I'm like, man, like, for Pete's sake.
Right.
When he was talking, I was relating so much to him.
Yeah.
And I know that they were getting frustrated, but was, come on, move your ass. But sometimes I feel like I'm in that situation because I've been doing the who does it belong to.
Right. Okay. So when you have a look at the tools, so if you've created a toolbox for yourself, which I know you have, Jackie, of stuff you can ask yourself, questions that you can ask yourself to start changing things and to move your ass when you're like, oh my God, I'm being pathetic again. Then what? So one of the things that I've noticed is when something won't change, like you're clearing, you're getting your bars run. So the bars are an energetic alignment therapy. So if this is the first time you've heard of it, I'll put a little link on the bottom for the people who are listening live on the TV station. Have you been getting your bars run quite a bit, Jackie? No.
But I'm getting Gary and Dane run it because I'm sticking in the DVD every day.
Yeah. Again. But look at what receiving. So, when you try to make it all academic, it's like being a dancer. So if you go to a dance class, every time you go dancing and they say, okay, well, do this and do that and do this and do that, and you don't go out and free dance by yourself and use the tools by yourself and take care of yourself with what you know, rather than asking for asking for facilitation. So they say for every class that you're in, like for every hour of facilitation that you receive, you should probably have your bars run once. So how many bar sessions do you owe your body, Jackie?
50.
Hundreds.
I know.
So one of the cool things, and Jackie already knows this, is that once you learn how to run bars, you can go to these exchanges. And so Jackie's lucky she doesn't live miles and miles and miles away from people who know how to do bars. And if you do, like if you're in the middle of nowhere, you actually can run your own bars. You can just put your hands up there. Remember last time we talked about kindness, gratitude, peace, and calm. And so those are the ones I'm just going to show you again. They're like little Spock ears above your head. And so you just find one side and find the other side and just touch them yourself. And then you ask for kindness, gratitude, peace, and calm. Do that with me, Jackie. Kindness, gratitude, peace, and calm. So, what would it be like if you were more kind to you with money, Jackie? What would your life be like? Tap in.
So much more ease and so much more fun.
Yeah. So, what's the value of not having enough of it or having a juicy amount of it? Like, what's the value of not having that?
I'm still staying in the hole with the others.
Right,
With
right.
my buddies who don't know about magic.
Yeah, yeah. So, truth, can you make people choose to have audacious amounts of money or audacious amounts of creation energy, or to choose things that they're not going to choose? Can you ever make them? No.
But I'm in this group of people, and one is 70 and she has aches and pains, and the other is a single mom, and I'm like, oh, if only they had some money, and I'm trying to get back to their level. It's like, stop it.
Yeah. So the part of it is that's cool is that when they want to choose it, they're going to choose it. Right? And so by buying into them not having enough money, what that does is you go into their lives rather than inspiring them. Okay, so are you willing to be the inspiration?
Yes.
Okay. So what does that look like? Like, how much talking are you doing right now for your business and for your life? Like, how many people are you reaching out to?
None.
Okay. And what would be an audacious goal for you to set for your business to get your little face in front of how many people in a week?
At least 10 calls a day.
Yeah, 10 a day. For 5 business days or for 7 days?
I can do it for 7.
Okay, but will you? Do you know what I'm asking? It's like when we set these targets for ourselves and they are audacious, but they don't have I could totally do that.
I can totally do it because I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like something's not letting me get out of.
Okay, so what are you aware of? Are people excited about business right now, or are they at the tail end of Canadian summer and they've got their feet up and they're relaxing?
Yeah.
So what if there's nothing to fight right now? How can you outcreate that? What systems can you start getting into place for the fall so that you can have elegance of business? How many different ways do you have for people to pay you? Do you have this many ways for people to pay you?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so for everybody who's listening, if you don't have 5 ways for people to pay you, that's not elegance of business. If you're planning on having a global business, I would suggest that you have 5 ways for people to pay you. And, check it out, because there's different regions where PayPal's like, people are like, or you can't even get on to PayPal. And so there's lots of different payment plans. And then, how many face-to-face actions are you doing right now? I know you do a lot of networking, Jackie, so I might be preaching to the choir, but it's like when you want to build a business, any business, whether it's a job business, like you go and work for somebody else and you want to get paid more, what you have to do is you have to show the company how you can be paid more. And then be audacious and go after it and say, look, I brought in $60,000 worth of business this year over and above the normal business that I do. I'd like a little slice of that. What would you like to do for me? Yeah. And then imagine it's you that you're working for. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? What new business are you bringing in for Jackie Incorporated? Okay, so anything that doesn't allow you to be, know, perceive, and receive the energy of what I just blasted you with, will you destroy and uncreate it? Awesome. Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all nine, boys, shorts, and beyonds. So that's the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. And for more information, you can pop over to theclearingstatement.com. And so what that does is it takes the energy that Jackie's built up during this little question and answer period, and it helps her release it out of her body. So any of the considerations, the points of view that she can't do it, or that she has to do it, or anything, anywhere she's feeling stuck, she can just let that go out of her body.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jackie. So who was the next person I saw? I saw Darcy. Darcy, what's your audacious ask, Darcy? Maybe she can't come on the phone. Darcy. Oh, chat only. All right, well, type your audacious ask in the chat and I'll get to it. Okay, Darcy. So who else? Tunda, what's your audacious ask?
Okay, hi.
Hi.
We were talking on Facebook about the night heavy and light when I said the lottery every month. So what do you mean by the heavy and light on the numbers?
Yeah, okay, cool. So that's a great question. And so Access Consciousness has a tool called Heavy and Light. And so for every choice that you can make, you can actually test the energy of it. So just for example, something that's an easy choice for you that makes you excited, like going on a vacation or spending time with a particular friend that fills you up, or doing an art project that you get super excited about that you could spend tons and tons of time doing. That's a light choice for you. And a heavy choice, let me finish.
Okay.
A heavy choice is something that would make you feel tired or guilty or heavy or dark. So when you go, Tunda was asking, she was saying, oh, well, my audacious choice is to win the lottery. And so what you can do is, whatever the lottery numbers are in Canada, it's called Lotto 49. And so you can check all the numbers between 6 and 49 and see which of those numbers you can say to them, hey, would you like me to choose you?
So that's what I didn't get. I'm like, I just couldn't put it on. What numbers are we talking about? And now that you're started to saying this whole heavy, and I'm like, oh, that's what it's gonna come to.
Yeah, well, check your body for one.
I did it, and it haven't worked at least yet.
You have to put your hands on your body. You can't just check back into your body. You have to put your hand on your heart.
Because I get so excited, that, oh, might be that one. That might be that one.
So that might be one is when you make it fun, it's a possibility. When you make it like the thing that will solve all of your problems, then that makes it solid.
Alrighty. Yeah, now I just have to get to a place where they said.
So ask your body. When you ask your body, this is what I recommend. Put your hand on your heart and put your hand on your belly button and just tap into your body and say, okay, the number 6, truth, is that light for me? Is that a choice to win this lottery jackpot? No.
Okay, I like that question. Is that a choice for me to just,
Yeah, it has to be very specific. So I haven't won the lottery with it, but now I'm inspired too. Let's all try it.
Well, I like to inspire other people.
Yeah, well, I love it. Yeah, so what would it be like for the money to be in the hands of people who are excited about making conscious choices with it? To increase the awareness of people on the planet, increase the wellness of the people on the planet, increase the health of the planet. What would that be like? So anything that doesn't allow Tunda to win the lottery this week, will you destroy and uncreate?
Yes.
Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all 9, boys, shorts, and beyonds. Yeah, so try it and report back. I'm going to try it too.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you. And thanks, Jackie.
Awesome. So who's next? Fiona. Fiona, jump on.
Hi there.
Hi, beautiful. What's your audacious ask?
Okay, so my audacious ask is that I want to start facilitating bars classes. I have done some, and I've had a grand total of 1 participant in each class, which is great, and I'm grateful for it. But I'd like to have 20 in each of the classes that I run. So I'd like to have more people in those classes.
Cool. So one of the things that I've noticed, I've just moved to a new community this year. So I've spent probably the last 6 months just setting up our new bed and breakfast business. So I haven't really been working on facilitating here in this community. So events tend to work really well. Access Consciousness right now has got their suicide awareness campaign event. And so what if that culminated in a bars class for you?
Okay.
So that for one. What event can you have that the bars class will invite people to be engaged with? And so the bars, for most marketing concerns, I'm stepping out of Access Consciousness and I'm actually talking about more about what I know about business right now, Fiona. So what I notice with business is they always say niche, niche, niche. And so if you're going to invite somebody to something, give them a very small window to get through. So the bars is amazing for so many different things. One of the things that you talked about was using bars to give kids more, or actually you talked about a mission to have kids with autism have more life and love and living without so much struggle. And so bars is fantastic for that. So what would it be like for you to create an event for parents of kids with autism and you just do a little bars taster?
Yeah. That sounds great.
Yes, don't over facilitate it. You just come and do like maybe an hour-long presentation where you show, the parents how to, run the implant band and maybe kindness, gratitude, peace, and calm. And then maybe these ones.
Okay.
And just know what you know. And then also in the community, where is there a need for your services? And how many faces can you get your face in front of? One of the things that Jackie and I did was we hired the same coach to help us. You run a parent students, right, Jackie? Yeah. So, if you're having difficulty talking in front of people about things, sometimes if you can create an intimacy, like a 20-person event or a 50-person event where you're not talking in front of 500 people yet. And then create a circumstance where people know that they're going to get some information that they can come for, and it's either a low priced or a free event for them to come. And then the invitation is like a hands down, no brainer that they would like to take a bars class after that. And so the nice thing about bars classes for kids is they're free if you bring your mom or your dad. And, there's so many parents out there who are looking for a medicine-free approach to adding more into kids' lives. You take a kid to the doctor, and the first thing that they want to do is prescribe something. This is my interesting point of view, or at least experiences I have had have validated that. And so there's a lot of parents like us out there looking for an approach for kids that is medicine-free, and it really helps the kids to learn that they're an active participant in their own lives. Like my kids have learned how to run bars, and they'll be like, "Mom, you're being all stressed out. Can I run your bars?" So imagine moving forward to have a modality that not only is it the parents that are catering to the children, like making sure everything's going well for them, but the kids are like, "Hey, wait a minute, Mom, you're kind of being a bag. Can I run your bars?" So what can you call your event? I mean, you could call it scream-free parenting, or you can call it, special needs without special medication, or you can call it, anything you want to call it. And do a real campaign. Don't mess around. Get on the internet and find out how to do an event campaign, and find out where all the places are that you can stand in front of people and say, well, look, on Saturday I'm having a family event. It's an hour and a half, and I'm going to show some people these things. And who do you know who has a kid who would like to bring their parent?
Yeah. What happens me when I go to organize an event, like I know how to do the Facebook event and the mechanics of a promotion. But what I've noticed happens, this is before I even ever came to Access, if I was organizing a class for something, is that on the day of the class, I love being there. I love the facilitation. I love the energy of it and the sharing with whoever comes along. But from the time I set the date until that date, it's almost like I start to contract. And I suppose last Tuesday, I set a date for a bars class. It's for the end of September. And the first thing I became aware of, even though I know exactly what I should be posting, and I know, there's groups locally that I can post into, and I automatically started to contract. And it's almost like I'm challenging myself at some level to almost disappear and go against everything that I want. And everything that you said there excites me and really gets me all fizzy. And here I am going, okay, I'm going to contract against this.
Okay, cool. So everywhere the past has been an indication of how you're going to show up today, will you press the delete button on that?
Yes.
Okay, good and bad, right and wrong, pod and pock, all nine boys, shorts and beyonds. You are not a mutual fund. So the past is not a great indication of what you're going to choose in the future. And are you willing to outcreate everything you ever were before?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, good and bad, right and wrong, pod and pock, all nine boys, shorts and beyonds. There's some stuff happening in Access Consciousness. I don't know if you're choosing it, but we're really talking about how really aggressive people, like politicians, like the stuff that's happening on the world stage right now, anybody who actually sort of stands out and takes a stand for things is kind of automatically in somebody's sights. And so prior to 2017, when you were in somebody's sights, you could end up dead pretty quick.
Okay.
So all of the programming of keeping yourself safe, average, the same as everybody else, and never sticking out, would you be willing to press the delete button on that?
Yes.
Good and bad, right and wrong, pod and pock, all nine boys, shirts and beyonds. Here's some framing for you. What if the bars class had absolutely nothing to do with people choosing Fiona?
Okay.
What if it was they were choosing something that was going to add to their life and living dynamically, and it was a no-brainer?
Yeah.
Okay. Everything that doesn't allow you to be, know, perceive, and receive the presentation of the no-brainer. Will you destroy and uncreate that?
Yes.
Nice. Good and bad, right and wrong, pod and pock, all nine boys, shorts and beyonds. There is an elegance to creating an event, and a lot of it is, the analogy of the swan.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just, they're swanning across the beautiful pond, and underneath they're paddling and paddling and paddling.
Yeah.
So part of that is creating the paddle ahead of time. Like, have all of your posts ready, have all of your posters ready, have a list, a wish list of, 25 to 50 people that you would like to put this opportunity in front of. And all of those 25 to 50 people that you want to put the opportunity in front of to choose it has to have at least 25 to 50 people that they know that they'll be like, oh my God, you've got to be in this class.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not you finding the people to choose the class. It's you being the opportunity for them to choose the class, and having the elegance of systems for them to be able to find you and the class.
Cool. I love that.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything that is, everywhere I just blasted you and you're like, what the hell did she say? Don't worry, there's a recording. And what would it be like? You know, just imagine, let's just step into the energy of having a bars class that had 20 to 50 people in it.
Oh my God, I absolutely love it. I just
Yeah, just imagine.
yeah,
So
yeah.
sensory wise, just feel your hands showing people where the points are and feel your lips smiling and laughing like, isn't that so fun that you feel so great right now? And oh, look, that one fell asleep and they're snoring. Isn't that cute? You know, tuck them in tighter. And I just love my bars classes. They make me all gushy. Like, it's just so nice to be with people and offer them something that they've never, ever received before.
Absolutely.
I love
it. Yeah.
Everybody can feel what a gush monster I am. Yeah. So if you don't go out there, this is me giving you the hug and the kick at the same time. If you don't go out there, who's going to find it without you?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So elegance of systems, my darling.
Thank you very much.
Everything that doesn't allow that for you, will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all 9, boys, shorts, and beyonds. Who else do I have to play with? Lori. Lori, jump on.
Hi.
Hello, Miss Lori.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? What's your audacious ask?
I would like at least 5 more business clients. I do some business consulting, and I would really love 5 more clients.
So what's your favorite thing about the consulting? Like when you have clients that are like that and you're like, yes, what's your favorite thing?
I love multiple things, but I love like creating and strategizing plans and putting things in motion and having a client that is ready to move and take action, and like, so we create and they're on it and they're doing it. Cool. And then seeing the results and having them make more money and touch more people. Yes.
Yeah. So again, like the same thing that I said to Fiona, niche, niche, niche. So if somebody asks you what your favorite thing is, what if you could have just one example that they could tap into rather than I love it all? Because I'm sure you do love it all. Right. And the thing about working with businesses, especially if that's one of your fortes, is you do have to be it all for people sometimes. But in order for them to choose it, you have to have one example of what they could choose. And so that's the one coaching aspect that I would give to you. What do you think is in your way of you creating that already? Actually, don't think. Let's ask your body. So when you ask your body, I always ask people, put your hand here and on your belly and just say, hey, body, what's in my way? If there was one point of view in your way, what would it be?
I get like 3 things.
Okay, so what's the first thing?
Well, it's just I haven't put myself out there. Okay. And it's
okay. And so what's underneath that?
Like not trusting myself.
Okay.
Like I can do it, like I know I can do it with some people, but can I do it with everybody? You know?
Yeah. So truth, do you want to do it with everybody?
No.
And so that's the other aspect of niche, niche, niche is when we work with the clients that make us light up, then the results are extraordinary. When we try to be, a jack of all trades for anybody and everybody who could show up for our business, then the results that we get are kind of like, And plus, this is the life that you're choosing, right? And so what energy can you be to have these clients show up that are like exciting and juicy to work with?
Right.
Yeah. So I do have an opt-in. I don't know whether you have it yet, Lori. It's called Ideal Client Blueprint.
Oh,
Do you have that one?
no.
Okay. So if you go to bit.ly, bit.ly,
Yep.
capital I, capital C, capital B. So it's IC Blueprint, but the IC and the B are all capital. And so it's an exercise that you can do with your business and also with your life. Like, you don't necessarily have to have like a consulting business, or you can actually work for yourself. Even Jane, who's a painter, I mean, she could do this exercise and imagine the transformation of people who have her art.
Mm.
Yeah, and so what it does is it talks about the transformation that you provide. And so even if you work in a dental office, you still provide a transformation for people. You know, if they come in and they're like, oh, everything's terrible, and you're like, no, it's okay. You know, I'll get you a coffee. The dentist is waiting for you. You know, everybody provides a transformation. Or at least the people who want to be talking to me are the kind of people that would provide a transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, cool. So if you're not getting yourself out there, how much of you is dedicated to, and you can give me a percentage, a little, a lot, or a megaton, how much of you is dedicated to never being that person that sticks out so much that they get killed?
Fuck ton.
Nice. So how many lifetimes did you die? It's a total trick question.
Yeah, for sticking out.
Yeah.
A bunch. And there's something, you know, like that, running the scam.
Running the scam.
Like, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you've got don't stick out and don't be a fraud.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
nice.
I have run the fraud clearing. I haven't done it lately, but I had run that a lot.
Yeah, but the neat thing, and it might be not the fraud clearing, it might be that in another lifetime you really enjoyed that, and so you've made an oath or a vow or a swearing not to sell snake oil ever again. Is that right?
Yeah.
Does that make you want to laugh, or does that make you want to go, ugh?
No, it's definitely light.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely light. Yeah.
So every lifetime that you had super fun selling snake oil,
yeah,
and then you got caught and something really bad happened and you made an oath, a vow, or a swearing to never sell snake oil ever again, will you press the delete button on all those lifetimes?
Yes.
Okay, good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all 9 boys, shorts, and beyonds. Fun. Because everywhere we're stuck with something, it means we actually did it in some lifetime or another. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not like cognitive behavioral therapy. They have like a completely different outlook. And so if you are a therapist and you're watching me and I'm completely weird, then good. And then the other one, don't stick out. Yeah. So what happens with that is in this lifetime, there may have been a whole lot of programming of you being too loud, too much. Truth?
Yeah.
Okay. So all of that programming, all of the implanted points of view that you're too loud or too much, and all of the explanted points of view that you're too loud or too much, and people not being willing to receive you, and you having to squish you or change you so that people can receive you, will you destroy and uncreate it? Will you press the delete button?
Yes.
Okay, good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all 9 boys, shorts, and beyonds. A very wise man once said, if we're waiting for everybody to change, we're going to be waiting for a very long time.
Yes.
So we get to choose. And so if we're not received by these people, then who can receive us?
Yes.
Yeah, what if nothing's right or wrong? If you're in energetic alignment with you and in energetic alignment with your business, and you can see how the services that you provide are valuable and people are choosing them, and you love the people who are choosing them, and then somebody comes along and says, Lori, I hate the way you talk in your videos, or Lori, that thing that you wrote, oh, you're like, wow, I'm kind of like Madonna. I got haters. Would you be willing to have haters?
Yes, I have more haters than I ever had before. It's really fun.
That's awesome.
Random people post on my Facebook something about it. They actually said hater in I posted a bars class, and some person I didn't even know posted something.
Good.
Hater. I'm
Good.
like, wow.
Yeah. So anti-consciousness is gunning for you. Are you willing to allow anti-consciousness to just keep on gunning?
Yes.
Yeah, because they're like rubber bullets. They sting for a second, but they certainly don't injure you.
No.
It's like, well, I know I'm on track. The relationship book that I was a best-selling author for, we had a hater right out of the gate.
Awesome.
They said that it was a total fluff piece, that we were all like self-congratulatory, that we didn't have any skills, and it was just so cool.
Wow.
So, yeah, would you allow that when somebody tells you that you're not doing something right, that the possibility is that you could just follow the breadcrumbs, that you're actually right on track, and all they're trying to do is drag you back into unconsciousness or anti-consciousness.
Sure.
Okay? Everything that doesn't allow you to be, know, perceive, and receive how much fun it is to have a hater. You know those people who, well, good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all nine, boys, shorts, and beyonds. You know, there's people who actually, when they get like a telecall or like a, hey, buy my insurance or whatever, they totally like jerk them around for like 10 minutes. And they love it. You know, I mean, not that that's the highest and best use of your time, but what if you were willing to be that energy? That if somebody's trying to mess with you, you're like, great, let's have some fun.
I haven't quite gotten to the fun part. I've been more an allowance, but the fun part has not quite been there.
Yeah, because nothing sticks when it's fun. Fun is like the lubricant of this reality. Like if your life is so much fun, and you have so many fun things planned ahead of you, and so many fun friends to spend time with, and so many fun activities to choose from, and when somebody comes in like that, they're just like a little mosquito. You're like, go away. And that's the key, is like how many, like get out your calendar, and how many fun things can you have planned for you over the next 6 months? And then put work in after. And then if you can find fun work, then awesome. Everybody needs stuff to look forward to, especially when you work for yourself. You know, these treats, these little like, ooh, in 6 weeks I'm going away. Ooh, in 4 weeks I'm going away. You know, that kind of thing. Everybody needs that kind of anticipation in their lives. And so then when these like haters come along, or you have this like nitter natter in your head, like, ooh, who am I? I might not actually know how to facilitate this, or I might not actually know, you know, what this person needs. Then you can be like, oh, whose point of view is that? Truth, do I actually know what this person needs? And if the answer is a no, then are they an ideal client for you? And are you willing to be like, you know what, this seems like a thing that I should partner with somebody on? You know, because we don't have to know everything. There's tons of people out there that are an energetic fit to, you know, share business with, to refer business with. I do that all the time in my business. I'm like, oh, this isn't something that's fun for me, but you know what? I have some people who love this kind of stuff. They would eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Lori.
Yeah, thank you.
Jane Jordan, come and say hello. What's your audacious ask?
Unmute. My audacious ask. I just love that whole thing around just creating it all to be fun. Having had many haters in my life, and that whole thing about, you know, past lives, standing up, getting whatever. and knowing that that has driven me a lot in this life.
Mm-hmm.
Always being the guy in the background. Like, I've promoted people like Mikhail Gorbachev and Nelson Mandela, but my name,
Yeah.
I'm the background guy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I always prided myself on, I make stuff happen for these big guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I realised then that I'm hiding.
Yeah. Well, in Australia, they have this thing called the tall poppy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what happens to the tall poppy?
Yeah, already had that happen a few times. And so that, you know, I loved your antidote is just have more fun with it, because we took it so, we took it so seriously one time before. And I know, and I've been like pursuing a consciousness life path for probably 40 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get when I got whacked really hard, I just abandoned it for a long time, and really knowing that I'm not happy unless I'm pursuing a consciousness path. You know, I'm not. This is what I have to do, and so being willing to be out there and up front. I'm so, when you said look forward to something, you know, I'm going to China in a couple of weeks, and I have so much fun with my students when I'm over there. And I have a couple of colleagues. We call ourselves the three amigos, or I call us the three old white guys. And we just have an enormous amount of fun. And that's what I've been missing. I was doing it every few months, and I haven't done it for a couple of years. And so just the anticipation has just been wonderful.
So what's your ask, sweetie?
My ask is to keep this going, this fun, this anticipation, this not hating the haters, just having fun with the haters, because that's the fear of standing out again. You know, that's the whole thing with the art thing.
Mm-hmm.
How many critics do you want to have? Just paint a painting.
So let me play with that. So when we have these changes that we didn't think could show up for us, and so you know, whether we have, you know, a 3-year dry spell with your work, or, you know, I know that Jackie created a lot of money last year, and so I'm sure she probably thought, well, what would it take for me to 10x that money? And, you know, like when it doesn't seem to be showing up, or we've created quite a bit and we're like, have this sort of anticipation of like, what if I can't sustain this?
Yeah.
What it does is it creates a reality where you can't sustain it. And so what I would recommend when you are really having an awesome time is to just get out the calendar, like literally get out the calendar and say, okay, I'm having an amazing time. Where do I go? Who do I connect with? You know, what else is possible with my business? Do you know what I mean? Because these days, remember it used to be, they joked it was like the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or 6 degrees of Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was like 6 degrees of separation. Well, now with the internet, there's not 6 degrees of separation. It's actually 1. So you need to find that one person who can connect you with the opportunities to expand. The Chinese experience for sure feels like it's going to go. Yeah. And, you know, that's just my intuition. And I think you're getting that as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then the art feels like it's just going to go. And so what one person, here's a question you can ask every morning and every night before you go to bed. What one person can I connect with that will exponentialize my elegance of business right away?
Yeah, I like that.
And like anything that doesn't allow it, will you press the delete button? Will you just create it? Yeah,
sure will.
Bad, right and wrong, pod and puck, all 9 boy shorts and beyonds. Especially if it's you.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's the thing.
Yeah. So everywhere you're secretly creating trauma and drama by being afraid of secretly creating trauma and drama, will you destroy and uncreate it? Okay, good and bad, right and wrong, fun, fuck, all nine boy shirts and beyonds.
Yep. So the system to get the visas is fabulous. It's the two people who are inviting me that are blocking me right now because they won't give me my venue, the place where I'm going to be staying while I'm in China, and I have to have it for my visa. So I'm sort of, that's not the system, it's them.
Yeah.
That's my trauma and drama. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So who can you be to change it with elegance?
Yeah, with elegance.
With elegance. So elegance, I say, is the most amount of dazzle for the least amount of frazzle.
Yeah, like it. Well, it was like last week, I asked about selling more paintings, and within 2 days, I'd done a video testimonial for my art teacher who's setting up a US website, and she's going to credit me and God knows what else. And she made sure that I was standing in front of my paintings, especially the roses, because she said, Jane,
they are really spectacular.
She said, Jane, women have wet dreams about being able to paint stuff like that. So
they do. And everybody always has that on their bucket list. They always, it's one of those things that they think that they're going to do well. They're like, oh, yes, when I retire, I'll paint.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm going to be painting as good as Jane.
Yeah, that's how she's going to get people into her classes. And the other thing that she did for me was she spent 4 hours with me one night late after she'd worked all day helping me put my blog together. Nice. So, she's really on my side.
Yeah, well, and that's a good question too to ask is like, what one person can I add to my business and my life that would exponentialize the elegance of my possibilities?
Yeah.
It's like, if there's one person, like, who is that? Yeah, and just be curious. I mean,
just be curious,
Yeah, just be curious. And if it's like you keep asking it and this name keeps coming up, then you're like, okay, well, I better call them.
Well, so funnily enough, I didn't expect it from her because she's sort of been cool,
Oh.
Yeah, and suddenly
people don't want to hang out with you, Jane.
Well, not cool as in cool, like cool towards me. You know what I mean?
Aloof.
Yeah, aloof, and suddenly I'm her best friend. So
nice.
something big shifted.
I love it.
Yeah, so do I. I love
it. Yeah. What elegance can you be a business? And anything that doesn't allow it, will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love that word elegance. I just get all bubbly inside with the word elegance. Well, and besides, I'm booked for my first bars session tomorrow.
Yay, I love it. Oh, well, definitely message me. Tell me all about it. So we're going to jump on to someone else. Thanks, Jean.
Thank you.
Raina, it's you. Raina. Am I saying that right? Raina. Can you come and talk? All right, well, she's not answering. So I see from Darcy, she said she asked for one of her students to do well at a horse show. She won the provincial championship, and she asked for the perfect man to show up. Boom, they seem to be everywhere. This week, I'm asking for more sources of income to show up and to have a smorgasbord to choose from. And she says, it seems that I was being too timid in my asks, not audacious enough, and the more I asked for, the better things showed up. Well, one of the things is when you ask for just enough, do you get excited about just enough? Or I'll make do with that. Bodies get excited about a smorgasbord. Bodies get excited about sensational things, clothes that look beautiful and feel beautiful, food that tastes beautiful and looks beautiful, luxury accommodations, beautiful sheets on your own bed, a gorgeous bed that just hugs you when you lay in it. And so when you are asking for just kind of what would it be like for some guy that's fun to date, rather than, hey, here's all of the possibilities that I would like to investigate for somebody who would be an addition to my life and in addition to all the parts of my life. And so what I did actually when I actualized Tom in my life was I wrote a whole list, and it wasn't from the space of, oh, well, you know, he needs to be, you know, 6'2", eyes of blue. What I did was I wrote a list of all of the feelings that I would like to feel in my life, and all of the places that I love to go, and all of the fun things that I love to do. And then I just imagined sharing it with someone. And Tom actually showed up. When did I start doing that? I started doing it in about February, and Tom showed up in May. And so when we ask for way more, the universe provides way more. Because the universe actually doesn't have a point of view. The universe is like, hey, I'll give you what you ask for. And so if you're asking for way less, then what happens is you get way less. Oh, dink, dink. Who's dink, dinking? All right. So, can you come and talk, Raina? Raina, are you there? Oh, here she is. Hey, Raina. Can you come and ask your audacious ask?
Okay.
What's your audacious ask?
Audacious ask. I'm playing with like a few different creations, and it was just to get clarity around a name. So what I got from this creation is it wants to be like a 6-month or a 12-month program, and there was a few different names I was kind of looking at. So it's around, the energy I'm getting is it's around intimacy and creating like that space of like total honoring of self. And for me, I get it's not going to just be something we wake up and just choose. It's a continuous like choosing. So yeah, looking for names of where to even start, and to create a Facebook group, and then to sort of create a 6-month program from that.
Yeah. Did you do that exercise of mine where, oh, I got the sunspot on my face. Did you do the exercise about the ideal client blueprint?
No, but as soon as you were telling Laurie, I have written that down. That would be
yeah, because I think you would get a name out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of true love? Or do you think that's like too, like...
What do people have when they have, so it's like you dial down, when you're looking for a name for something, you say, okay, so tell me you're going to name your program True Love. Say, I'm going to name it True Love.
I'm going to name it True Love.
Okay, cool. So what do you get when you have True Love?
Okay, so I would see like hearts and just stupid stuff. It makes me actually want to vomit.
Okay, cool. So if it didn't make you want to vomit, what else could you get from True Love?
Joy, intimacy, laughter, experiences, adventures. See, I see me splashing in water and actually visiting beautiful spaces. It's like,
so it's a more of a social experience then.
Yeah. So for me, that would be an experience, but I don't know what other people would hear.
Yeah. So, yeah, it feels like it's a little bit more involved than what we can do on the call. Do the exercise, and then if you have any questions about it, just PM me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then if we need more time, then we can book a session in.
Awesome.
Okay. Thanks, honey. What do we got? Gitu. What's your audacious ask?
Yes, my audacious ask is, what will it take for me to have more money than God?
Cool. So when you say more money than God, does that seem like a possibility to you?
Why not?
That's not what I asked. Does it seem, yes or no? Is it light for you to have more money than God?
Yes.
Okay. And you live in India?
India and Europe.
Okay. And so which God are we talking about?
Myself.
You as the God.
Yes.
Okay. So do you see that? Then I would have more money than me?
Once again, come again, sorry.
How do you have more money than you?
More than I can ever imagine.
Okay. And when you have the money, what's the feeling that you'll feel when you have the money?
Wow, expansive and very potent and incapacity for a lot more.
Okay. And how will your body be included in that equation? How will your body feel when you have the money?
Very joyful, nice.
Okay. And what does nice mean?
Nice is like joy, yummy, fun.
Okay. Okay. And so what's your sense of, like, if you are able to create parking spots, what's the difference between creating a parking spot in the right spot exactly when you need it and, you know, creating money coming in exactly when you need it?
That actually happens with me. That actually happens with me.
Okay. I think it happens to a lot of us. What would it be like if you were willing to create the money coming in whether you need it or not?
Yeah, that's what, that would be yummier.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've noticed is the more I'm willing to choose and have in my life, the more money will come in. And so if I'm asking for a home that's just enough, or a vehicle that's just enough, or clothes that are just enough, or friends that are just enough, then the money doesn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what would be an audacious amount of money to receive and have?
When we spoke about the choices, the more I choose, the more easier to get money. But sometimes I get with my choices that I really want to choose. I don't have
The choices.
Choices that I want to choose.
Well, what if you created choices or you made choices that required you to have audacious amounts of money, but they were juicy and light and fun to choose? And what if you had no point of view about the how? And then you just
I don't know what to choose. I don't have clarity. I mean, I really don't know what exactly I want to choose. And I am a person who goes with the flow. So I kind of like, whatever will be, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. So I generally tend to go with the flow.
Yeah. So going with the flow means that you're normal, average, and the same as everyone else. Are they wealthy? Do you hang with friends who are normal, the same, average, and wealthy?
I tend to hang with everybody very comfortably.
Yeah. So how many wealthy friends do you have? Can you count them on one hand, or?
No, I'm not judgmental about anybody's.
That's not what I'm asking. When we want to be something, we be around it to create it. So if you're not a good gardener, if you kill everything in your garden, then you go to an expert gardener and hang out with them and watch what they do. If you want to have more money and to keep money rather than, you know, creating $10,000 and then spending 110, that's what I'm saying. So at the moment, how many really wealthy people do you know?
I know a lot of them, but actually you're right. I'm judgmental about rich people. Yes.
Okay. So would you be willing to let that go?
Yes.
Okay. So anything that doesn't allow you to be, know, perceive, and receive, the value of having wealthy people in your life, will you destroy it, uncreate it?
Yes, please.
Okay, good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all 9 boys, shirts, and beyonds. So do you know who Onassis is?
No.
Okay, so look him up. One of the best things that I ever read that really stuck with me is he said you should always live in the most prominent address, even if you can only afford to live in the broom closet. And he also said that there was something like, you know, you need to go out at least once a week and like rub shoulders with people who are in the place that you would like to be. And so if you want to have, you know, $1 million in your investments, then what would it be like to hang out with people who always have $1 million in their investments with no point of view?
Then I need to rub shoulders with Gary.
Gary? Well, there's tons of other people too, right? Yeah, so he can't be the only person.
But I think people are very mean, and rich people tend to be mean and quite self-conceited.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an interesting point of view. Is that even your point of view?
My mom's point of view.
Okay, so you want to return all that crap?
Yeah.
So there's a dichotomy there, you two. So if you want to be wealthy, if you want to have $1 million in your investments, and everybody that you know who has more than $1 million is an asshole, then do you want to be an asshole?
No.
So you might want to change your mind about how asshole-ish people who have money is. And so the best way to do that is to say, okay, well, everywhere I've been an asshole when I was wealthy, all the lifetimes where you were a wealthy asshole and you used it to destroy people, will you destroy and uncreate all of that?
Yes.
Okay, good and bad, right and wrong, pod and poc, all nine, boys, shorts, and beyonds. And then access consciousness, I know I'm running over a little bit, but they talk about having money. So there's a lot of us that can create money out of nowhere. You know, it's just like, okay, well, I need $10,000 to do that thing. And then all of a sudden, $10,000 will show up. But the having of the money changes the energy. So would you be willing to start to have money without any point of view about where it needs to go?
Yes.
Okay, anything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it?
I do have money also. I do spend money also, and I do throw money also. So I'm always...
Yeah, but wouldn't it be cool if you had way more money than you could ever spend?
Oh, yes.
And what if that just starts at $1?
Yes.
And then you're like, okay, well, cool. My having account has $1 million in it. Will I spend it? No. Wouldn't it be cool if it was like that for you?
Yes.
Yeah, and you can choose it. You know, or you can choose to do stuff like invest your having account in stuff that's not going to work for you. You know, a moment of unconsciousness. You know, and that's it. That's where we are with money. I do a lot of facilitation on money, but I'm not going to be able to do it in 5 minutes. Well, you guys, that's been the Audacious Ask. My name is Jennifer Cramer Lewis. And if you know somebody who wants to be a little bit more audacious, you might want to invite them on the call. And yeah, we go live every Monday in Canada, and it's Tuesday in Australia. So find out where your time is in the world by hopping on over to bit.ly, bit.ly/audaciously with a capital A. Take care, you guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.